Most people are stuck, but here's the shocking truth. Change isn't as hard as they think. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. That's the hard truth. Most people remain stuck in their lives not because of their potential to succeed, but because they're not fully aware of what's holding them back. They spend day after day living in autopilot mode, just going through the motions of life, ignoring the underlying issues that prevent them from thriving. Let's face it, change is uncomfortable. It requires facing up to the reality of your situation and taking responsibility for it. But the first step to real transformation begins with awareness. Imagine you're driving a car in the dark and you don't have lights. How are you supposed to get anywhere safely? The answer is simple: you can't. But once those headlights turn on, you can see the road ahead, the obstacles in your way, and make the necessary adjustments to reach your destination. Now, think of your life the same way. Most people are wandering through life without clear direction, blind to the truths that are holding them back. They may be stuck in toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, or harmful habits, but they refuse to acknowledge it because it's safer to stay in denial. But here's the thing. Living in denial is the true source of pain. You may be avoiding the hard truths now, but they will catch up to you, and when they do, they will hit you like a ton of bricks. Why is awareness so powerful? Because once you face your reality, you can finally make informed decisions. You get to decide what comes next. Without awareness, you're just reacting to life's circumstances. For instance, think about that toxic relationship you're holding on to. You know it's not serving you, but you've convinced yourself that it's too hard to leave. The first step is to acknowledge the damage it's doing to your life. The moment you admit to yourself that you deserve better, you open up space for something more fulfilling to enter your life. You empower yourself to take action, even if it's uncomfortable at first. Or consider the job you hate, but stay in because it feels secure. You know deep down it's draining you, but you convince yourself that it's better the unknown. The awareness that this job is not aligned with your goals or your purpose will push you to make a change. It's that moment when you realize that your potential is being wasted. Awareness is the starting point for everything. Once you're aware of what's really going on in your life, whether it's your toxic habits, negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, or toxic relationships, you can break free from them. And that's when real change happens. But it starts with a simple, often painful, truth: you must wake up and face what's in front of you. The longer you stay asleep to your own life, the longer you remain stuck in the same cycle of frustration and mediocrity. Here's an action step for you today. Take a moment and reflect on your life. Ask yourself, what am I ignoring? What truths am I avoiding? It could be something as small as procrastination or as big as a career change. Start small, but start today. Awareness is the first step in your transformation. Without it, you're just wandering through life hoping for a miracle. But with it, you can start to chart a course for real, meaningful change. 2, if you want to grow, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. This is one of the most overlooked truths about success. It's also one of the hardest pills to swallow. People want growth, but they also want comfort. They want success, but they don't want to deal with the struggle. The reality is, you can't have both. If you want to grow, if you want to experience true transformation, you need to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Think about it. How many times have you stayed in a job, relationship, or situation that wasn't working for you, simply because it was comfortable? You were familiar with the routine, the people, the environment, even though it wasn't helping you get closer to your goals. But here's a ticker. Comfort breeds stagnation. The moment you become comfortable, you stop growing, you stop learning, you stop challenging yourself. Comfort lulls you into a false sense of security, making you believe that everything is fine just as it is. But here's the truth: nothing in life ever stays the same. Either you're growing or you're dying. Why does stepping outside your comfort zone feel so painful? It's because growth involves risk, and risk feels dangerous. It activates your fear response, and fear doesn't like change. Fear is wired into your brain as a survival mechanism. It tries to keep you in the safe zone, away from anything that could potentially hurt you, whether physically, emotionally, or mentally. But the real danger is in staying stagnant. The danger lies in not evolving, in refusing to face the discomfort that is required to move forward in life. Staying comfortable will eventually lead to complacency and missed opportunities. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did something for the first time? That feeling of fear mixed with excitement, that's your sign that you're growing. It's okay to feel nervous, scared, or uncertain. In fact, that's often the best indicator that you're on the right path. If you're comfortable all the time, it means you're not challenging yourself, and growth is nowhere to be found. The cost of staying comfortable is high. Here's the deal: the longer you stay stuck in your comfort zone, the harder it becomes to break free. You begin to accept mediocrity. You begin to accept less than what you're capable of. Whether it's a dead-end job, a toxic relationship, or a negative mindset, comfort leads to a life that's less than fulfilling. It's not about being content with the way things are. It's about realizing that you deserve more. You deserve growth. You deserve to step into your full potential. But growth is never handed to you. It's earned through hard work, through stepping into discomfort. Here's an example. Think of how you feel when you start a new workout routine. The first week is brutal. Your muscles ache, you're out of breath, and every part of you wants to quit. But with each passing day, you get stronger. Your body starts to adapt. That discomfort was the price of your progress. Comfort is the enemy of progress. If you want to go the next level in your life, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. Whether that's starting a new business, taking a leap of faith in your career, or ending a relationship that's holding you back. It's all about being willing to face the fear and discomfort, because growth is always on the other side of fear. So, here's an actionable piece of advice. Start small, but start today. Find one area of your life where you've been settling and challenge yourself to take the first side of your comfort zone. It might be a tough conversation, a risky decision, or an uncomfortable change, but trust me, that's where the magic happens. When you challenge your comfort zone, you create the space for growth, and that's where the real breakthroughs occur. 3, you don't find your potential by playing it safe. This is a tough one for many people to swallow, but it's the truth. To unlock your true potential, you need to take risks. Risks are the gateway to personal growth, and they're an essential part of any meaningful journey. The problem is we've been conditioned to avoid risk. Society teaches us that stability and security are the ultimate goals, but in doing so, we overlook the fact that nothing extraordinary was ever achieved without taking a chance. The risk of failure, the risk of rejection, the risk of uncertainty, these are the very things that hold us back from living our best lives. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if I fail? The fear of failure is what keeps most people in their comfort zones. It's the most powerful and paralyzing force in the human mind. But here's the thing: failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. Failure teaches you lessons success never could. Failure refines your character, builds resilience, and gives you the tools to do better next time. Failure is not falling down, it's staying down. Taking risks doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees growth. It's about learning and adapting. Think about your own life. How many opportunities have you missed because you were too afraid at that first step? What would have happened if you had just taken that leap of faith? Now, I'm not saying you should be reckless. I'm not advocating for making blind decisions without any thought. What I am saying is that calculated risks, the key to moving forward. This applies to all areas of life: career, relationships, finances, health. If you stay in a job that doesn't fulfill you because you're afraid of not finding something better, you're never going to discover what you're truly capable of. If you stay in a relationship that drains you because you're afraid of being alone, you'll never experience the freedom and growth that comes with independence. What's the worst that could happen? It's a question worth asking. When you're considering taking a risk, when you're launching a business, quitting your job to follow your passion, or even ending a toxic relationship, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? In most cases, the worst case scenario isn't as bad as you think. And if it does happen, it's often stoned to something better. Taking risks also forces you to become resourceful. When you have no choice but to figure it out, you develop problem-solving skills that you wouldn't have if everything was handed to you. It forces you to learn, adapt, overcome. Risking something means you'll likely gain something even better in return. It's a win-win situation, but only if you take the risk. Risk is not an obstacle, it's an opportunity. Every time you take a risk, you open the door to a new opportunity. It's like playing a game where you can't lose, because every experience, whether it leads to success or failure, teaches you something. The only real failure is not taking any risks at all. One of the best ways to start embracing risks is by starting small. You don't need to make huge leaps all at once. Take manageable risks that allow you to build confidence and gain experience. Whether it's starting a side project, speaking up at a meeting, or making a small financial investment, you can build your way up to bigger risks over time. Each small risk you take will build your resilience, and with each risk, you'll learn how to handle larger challenges. The real question is, are you willing to take that first step? Are you willing to face fear and step into the unknown? If you are, that's when the real transformation happens. So take the risk, embrace the discomfort, and most importantly, trust yourself. 4. You are where you are because of the choices you've made. No one else is responsible for your life. That's a hard pill to swallow for most people. We all want to blame someone or something for the position we're in. The boss who didn't promote us. The economy that's not working in our favor, the people who didn't support us. There's always someone else to point the finger at. But here's the truth, the only person responsible for your life is you. Personal accountability is the cornerstone of success. If you want to change your life, you have to take ownership of it. Your results, your actions, and your future are all a direct reflection of the decisions you make today. This isn't to say that external circumstances don't play a role. They do. But you control how you respond to those circumstances, and it's how you choose to respond that determines the direction your life will take. Let's consider this. How often do you make excuses for where you are in life? How many times have you found yourself saying things like, I would be successful if only I had more time, or if only I had the right connections? These are all excuses and they hold you back. The truth is, time is never going to magically appear, and the right connections won't come to you unless you put yourself out there. Success isn't going to knock on your door. You have to go out and create it yourself. Personal accountability means saying, I am responsible for my life and my results, no matter what. It's about owning up to your mistakes, accepting the consequences of your actions, and taking control of your destiny. The moment you do that, you gain power. Because once you take ownership, you realize that you have the ability to change things. No one is going to do it for you. You can't wait for circumstances to improve or for people to change. You have to make it happen. Think about a time when you blamed someone or something for a setback in your life. Maybe it was a job loss, a failed relationship, or an opportunity that passed you by. What would have happened if, instead of blaming others, you had taken responsibility? What would have been different if you had said, this is on me. I'm going to figure out how to turn things around. The truth is, the power was always in your hands. It was just hidden behind a veil of excuses. When you stop blaming others, you reclaim your power. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is to stop blaming other people for your struggles. It's easy to point the finger at others, but the moment you take responsibility, you stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like a victor. It shifts your mindset from helplessness to empowerment. You start to see every challenge as an opportunity for growth. Think about how much energy we waste by blaming others. When we blame our past for our present, we give away our power. We make excuses, we stay stuck, and we never move forward. But when we take ownership of our lives, we shift from being passive victims to active creators of our destiny. The key here is taking small actions every day. Personal accountability doesn't mean having all the answers or being perfect. It means making conscious decisions and taking responsibility for those decisions. It means not waiting for someone else to tell you what to do or waiting for the perfect moment. It means doing what you can with what you have right now. Here's an example. Let's say you want to improve your financial situation. but you feel stuck. You could blame the economy, your job, or your upbringing for where you are. But here's the truth. It's your responsibility to find a way to change your financial future. You can start by cutting unnecessary expenses, learning about investing, or finding ways to increase your income. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to start. Every small decision counts. The power to change your life is in your hands. Take control now. The moment you accept responsibility for your life, you take the first step toward changing it. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. You realize that the only time you have is now. You realize that your future depends on the actions you take today. No one else is coming to save you. The only person who can change your life is the person staring back at you in the mirror. Personal accountability is not just about business or career. It applies to every aspect of your life. In relationship, health, finances, and even your own happiness, the power to create change lies within you. It's easy to blame others or the world, but ultimately, we are the ones responsible for our choices. And when we take responsibility for our lives, we open the door to endless possibilities. So, what will you do with this power? Will you continue to make excuses, or will you take full responsibility and start creating the life you deserve? The choice is yours, and it's a choice that will determine the direction of your future. Remember, the life you want isn't somewhere out there. It's waiting for you to claim it, starting right now. So, what's stopping you from taking action right now? The uncertainty, the doubt. Those are all part of the process, but they don't need to stop you. There's no in between. You either take action or you stay stuck. And if you stay stuck long enough, you'll find yourself looking back years from now, wondering why you didn't take that chance when you had the opportunity. The most successful people are not the ones who never failed, but the ones who refused to stay down after they fell. If you fall, get back up. If you fail, learn from it and try again. Success is not a straight line. It's a series of highs and lows, wins and losses, but it's only those who keep pushing forward who ultimately win. Embrace the discomfort, take bold action, and keep moving forward. There's no other way. Your future starts now. If this helped you, don't forget to subscribe, share, and then drop a comment. Let's keep the conversation going.